What is good, everybody? Welcome to the Views from the 573 podcast. The podcast does not make $700 million for the next 10 years, unfortunately. We weren't able to get that at the negotiating table, but we are here, Ryan McDaniel here, and I'm joined by Matt Mormann as we're going to lead off the show talking about Shohei Ohtani signing with the Dodgers. We kind of mentioned it on Friday that seemed like he was going to sign somewhere imminently, and his decision was made on Saturday that he was going to the Dodgers. So for all you that did all the plane tracking and thought like, oh, Toronto's it, I'm sorry. I'm sure you had fun tracking planes. I mean, it's a favorite pastime of Tennessee fans, but he is going to be a Los Angeles Dodger, 10 years, $700 million. And man, as the guy that was the Angels fan and rooted for Ohtani, how are you feeling about this?
Well, yeah, let's do that first. Let's talk about this from the Angels side of things. I'm fine with it. I come to terms with it. I came to terms with everything about a year ago, year and a half ago, even that Trout, Ohtani, both they gave it their all. The Angels, seeing those two both in the World Baseball Classic and just like this realization of like these two guys just want to win. That's all they want. The Angels as a franchise failed them both. So it by no means you will not be seeing any Ohtani jersey burning on my watch, right? Like I still love Shohei. I hope the Dodgers go win a bunch of World Series with him. I hope this works out great for him. It's unprecedented. The style of this contract is amazing and incredible. 10-year, 700. Like Ryan, let's just say those words one more time. 10 years, $700 million for Shohei Ohtani. It is. He could go buy the Royals after he's done playing. Like this is amazing. I'm happy for him to be able to do something like that. Like, yeah, it's a lot of money, and you're always going to have those people who are like, "Oh, they get paid too much to play baseball." Well, some billionaire over there is the one paying it, right? So, like, that's why I always view those kinds of things. I'm incredibly happy for Ohtani. For the Angels, it leaves a team that already was kind of in shambles, already kind of a mess, becomes more of a mess, and now loses their best player for nothing. I do still feel like it was the right move to not trade him in July because as weird as it is, I don't think you have gotten much for him in July. MLB, we see this every year where pending free agents don't really bring back that much. And I think Ohtani would have been no different in that regard. So I think the Angels played it the best they could. It unfortunately never worked out that way there towards the end. Let me rephrase that. They did not play it the way they should for most of his tenure. But those final few months, I think they did actually by kind of pushing the chips in and saying, let's just try to win it this 1 year. Let's go. Let's bring in the CJ Cron. Let's bring in those other guys. And it just didn't go their way for that. On the Dodger side of things, I think one thing that's super interesting with this is, though, I feel like, Ryan, this doesn't actually solve any problems for the LA Dodgers in 2024. And what I mean by that is when I look at this Dodgers lineup, the lineup is already really good, right? Like you've already got a Mookie Betts who's moving to second base full time. You've got a Freddie Freeman and a Will Smith. Like Max Muncy still is kind of a guy. Chris Taylor can still play a little bit. Sure, adding Ohtani into that lineup at DH is obviously a massive upgrade. It's going to make any lineup better. But Ohtani's not pitching this year. Ohtani had a Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
He is not pitching in 2024. We don't know what his future is pitching-wise. And that obviously is going to play a big damper on the future here. But just looking at 2024, we know he's not pitching. And we know this Dodgers pitching staff, it's got some problems over here. I mean, they will bring back Clayton Kershaw, I'm sure, right? If Kershaw was ever on the fence about retiring or going somewhere else, well, guess what, buddy? You just got Shohei Ohtani. He's coming back now. Kershaw's on his way. But Walker Buehler, he's still there to this year. Other than that, this is a rotation full of question marks. I think both those two even you can file to an extent as question marks too, with Buehler and with Kershaw both because of the injury problems, right? Buehler, he didn't pitch at all last year. He barely pitched in 2022. We have no idea. If Walker Buehler gets back to what he once was, then that's great. He's a front-end rotation guy. I have no idea what Walker Buehler is going to be. I have no idea what Clayton Kershaw in 2024 is going to be. you've got these young guys like Bobby Miller coming up from the minors that, sure, maybe it's great, but maybe year 1 or year 2 is going to be really inconsistent, right? We see that plenty where guys turn out to be really good, but it just takes a little bit to click. This is a Dodgers team that just spent $700 million, and now they need to go turn around and spend more on pitching because that's kind of what they need. I will say, though, to me, this is pretty inevitable for him to go to the Dodgers. He's talked a lot about how he likes the West Coast. He's comfortable with the city of LA. He loves the Japanese fan base in that area. He loves the fact that Japan is as close as it can get. And also, last spring, I remember seeing where on Spot Track that the Dodgers were I think it was 8th or 7th in payroll this year. And they had never been outside the top 3 since 2013. When I saw that, I immediately just went ping, where the antenna went up, where it's you knew they were playing for something, and the obvious thing they were planning with Shohei Ohtani. So one thing interesting with this contract is a ton of deferrals. Apparently, we don't know all the details on everything yet, but from what I've seen, over half this contract will be deferred out. So what that basically means is, we joke every year, July 1st, Bobby Bonilla Day, he is paid $1 million, right? That's basically what that means is a certain amount will continue to be paid out beyond just this 10 years. He will not, in 2033, Shohei Ohtani will not have received $700 million from the Dodgers. He will have received probably about $300 million. And then over the next however long they agreed upon, he'll get the rest of it. So that's interesting. And then the reason Ohtani did that is because he wants to give the team financial flexibility to be good. And basically Ohtani looked at it and said, look, if you're giving me $70 million in 2024, you can't go get the pitching you need. So Ohtani's like, just give me, let's say $20 million in 2024, go spend that other 50 on pitching, And so Ohtani, he wants to win, and he is doing everything he can to win. And this is just another example of it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the smart move. I mean, even though it's a little bit different here with the sport and that there's no really quote unquote salary cap in baseball, it's kind of like paying quarterbacks in the NFL and kind of seeing how Brady kind of did his deals over his time with the Patriots, in which he took a little bit of pay cut each and every year, and the Patriots were able to go out and get somebody, whether it's they needed another wide receiver, they needed somebody on the defense, it's something like that. So it's very smart on Ohtani's part to be aware, is hey, let's take this extra cash that you were going to give me. Let's go and spend it on pieces that are going to help us get what I want, what I came here to do. And let's just do it that way. And you guys can pay me out after the contract however you want, however much we agreed upon. And let's just go roll and try to win a bunch of titles. It's incredibly smart by him. And yeah, you talk about him wanting to stay in the West Coast. He's going to a team that is one of the best teams that's been playing baseball here in the last several years with all the players they've acquired. But yeah, you do mention that pitching spot, and it's going to be tough because I do imagine that if Ohtani was not needing Tommy John surgery and if he was pitching, he'd probably get paid a little bit more, maybe for that, just a little bit. But I think it would be because of the value he offers to the pitching side, because of how much the Dodgers needed pitching last year.
Honestly,
now they got that money to go and spend it on those pitchers.
I actually, and Ryan, this might be a bit of a hot take. I actually think even if he was never injured, I don't think he would have gone over 700 million over 10 years. I think because that is such a leap above everyone else already. I think, and I think specifically the Dodgers were the only team that was going to get, no one else is going to bid above this anyway. So at that point, who are the Dodgers bidding against, right? They're bidding against themselves. They're just basically bidding to convince Shohei that you're worth more, I guess. But also, one thing I think is interesting, that I actually haven't seen anybody else say, so this may be new information actually, is they're purchasing fans. Because Ohtani was in the exact same market as he will be in, but on the other team, whatever Angels fans are left, that hat's turning blue. You know, like
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
can imagine,
Yeah.
like Ohtani's so beloved. Everyone loves him. The only reason you would say an Angels fan, if you live in LA now, is for Trout, right? And so, like, if you're in
Yeah.
that market, instantly the Dodgers just made so many more fans now, right? They're just converting Angels fans into Dodgers fans. So I think that's kind of an interesting built-in part from a Dodgers standpoint of like they're going to make a lot of money right back, or a lot of people who have Angels jerseys are going to turn around and buy Dodgers jerseys now. And that's a unique situation I don't think we've ever seen before to this level.
Yeah. I mean, think about how many Angels fans there were back in Japan, and now they see this, and now like, yeah, that Angels jersey, it's gone now. Bring on the Dodger blue jersey.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah. I mentioned earlier I had a couple of stats that were here. This one's from Foolish Baseball, and the way they put it with Otani's contract, he beat Mike Trout's record-setting contract of $426 million by Alex Rodriguez's second record-setting contract of $275 million. So I was like, that's good.
I mean,
That's a funny one.
it's over. It is over 3 Albert Pujols contracts, right?
Exactly.
Wasn't Albert like 240?
Yeah, Albert was like 240 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess he's just barely underneath
Yeah.
3
It's
Albert
crazy.
Pujols contracts. Like, I hope it works. I do. Because it's Shohei, because he's so lovable. I would hate to see this blow up because of Shohei. Like, there are plenty other players in this league where if the big contract blows up, whatever, right? If the Giancarlo Stanton
Yeah.
contract is an albatross for the Yankees, whatever. I don't feel bad. I'm rooting for Shohei though, man. Like baseball's better for him. I hope that elbow gets healthy. I hope he pitches. I hope he pitches great because baseball needs it. And you know, my one disappointment is it makes sense he wanted to be on the West Coast. I wish he would have left the West Coast because of the time, right? Like there are so many times when I would stay up, watch the first 3 innings of an Angels game, and then go to bed, right?
Yeah.
It would just be really nice to have those games starting at 6 or 7 Central.
Yeah. Ooh, quick question before I got this other stat. Dodgers come to Kansas City. You going?
Oh, absolutely. Especially whenever he pitches, like for sure, without question. And quite frankly, I was actually just thinking about that yesterday with the Juan Soto trade. I want to go when the Yankees are here, right? Like it is one of those things where it's like you don't love it for baseball. I'm a big advocate of baseball needs a salary cap. Baseball needs to help these small market teams out. But yeah, you know what? When the Yankees have Aaron Judge and Juan Soto, I kind of want to be there a little bit more now, you know, for sure. When Ohtani comes here, and I'll probably wear my Angels Ohtani shirt that day to the Royals and Dodgers, you know, because it's Shohei.
Yeah.
There are very few players that hold that extra special spot in my heart the way Shohei Ohtani does.
Yeah. Well, the Cardinals are going to have to see Otani pretty early. I think they're playing them right away. So,
Yeah.
welcome to 2024, St. Louis. You're playing Otani in a Dodgers uniform.
Gosh, and like when you play MLB 24 the show, and if you do a franchise, you just like sim the season. That Dodgers team just gonna break every record. Like, because also in the game he'll be healthy enough to pitch, so he'll be in the rotation too, and so it's like they'll win 140 games.
Yeah. The other stat I had, and this as far as like career earnings is concerned, in this contract, Shohei Ohtani is going to make more than LeBron James through this upcoming season. LeBron's at $482 million through his career, and Shohei is going to make 700.
It's crazy. Play baseball, kids. Go play baseball. And it's all guaranteed. I mean, that's because it's MLB. It is all guaranteed money. Freaking Austin Eckler can't get $10 million, and Shohei Ohtani can get 700. Right? Like, man, oh man, go play baseball, kids.
Either do that or become a college football coach, get fired, and get a huge buyout like Jimbo Fisher did.
Yeah, that's probably a better way to make money. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this is just a huge deal, and with Ohtani going to the Dodgers now, I'm really want to see what they do now after
Yeah.
adding him. The after effects should be interesting to watch.
Well, and that's one thing across the league as a whole, I think, is the free agent freeze is over, right? Because I think the entire free agent market was really waiting on Ohtani. They were really waiting on also that Juan Soto trade to happen. I think that both of those two are huge pieces to get moved. I think Yamamoto, the kid from Japan, I think that still is one that is going to hold things up a little bit longer still. But I think that we're going to start to see a ton of moves here over the next few weeks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I guess
I just pulled up Spot Track, the free agent tracker, and just to see the number 700 million written out, it looks like a mistake.
it's like, who added that extra zero?
Like, Mike Giannetti, did you mess up here, buddy? I mean, like the average salary, $70 million. It looks incorrect. It just like Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola signed a big deal, right? 7 years, 172. It is sitting here next to this Ohtani deal and just dwarfed in comparison. It's just not even close. But I do think. Oh, go ahead.
I think I saw somebody like Bobby Marks on the NBA side is like, Otani's contract is worth 2 NBA max contracts.
Well, and honestly, to goodness, thinking back last year. Oh no, last year you had the Judge and Turner. Okay, last year there was some money thrown around. I was gonna say, did Ohtani's contract add up to more total value than like some entire free agent classes?
Probably.
Well, I'm looking back at the last couple right now, and I don't know if we quite can get to that point. But actually, you know what? The 2021 class, George Springer had the biggest deal of 6 years for 150. There are only 2 others that are over 100. I bet you there's a chance that like Ohtani may. I mean, there's a ton of players that get signed, so 700 million probably doesn't quite cut it, but like I bet you it's not too far off. It's closer than it ever should have been. No, but like you said though, Ryan, it really would not shock me if the Dodgers do not see on the field massive improvements in 2024. I still love my Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
You know, and I tell you what, I have a feeling if I cross into Kansas right now, I bet you I can get some pretty good odds on picking my Diamondbacks to beat the Dodgers in the division.
Yeah. Because wait, they signed Rodriguez the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they got another starting pitcher added in. Yeah. We're gonna see some guys move though. Like Stroman, it wouldn't surprise me in the fallout of this if Stroman signs in the next handful of days. Same with like a Josh Hader. Kershaw goes back to the Dodgers by the end of the weekend. Lucas Giolito, Blake Snell, Jordan Montgomery. I can see all those pitchers really starting to sign soon.